Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Marty.
And I'm John Cena Sr.
It's that time of night again. Fans, it's a brand new Wrestling Insider's Fabulous Fridays kicking off now. Wrestling fans, we warned you this day would come. Unfortunately, we're running out of original episodes of Wrestling Insider's Party with Marty each and every Thursday night at 10 p.m., but we're starting up that Indiegogo. You can help the cause. You can help Marty's show continue each and every week. Nobody does it like Marty. We had an incredible time with him at our 20th anniversary bash, November 13th at Memorial Hall here in Melrose. We want to have the good times keep on rolling, but we can't do it without you. Look for the Indiegogo link in the comment section below or across our website and social media platforms. We have some great perks, great rewards where you can even meet Marty himself. There's nothing like it. Since July of 2020, every week we've brought you the show. We need your help to keep on going. We tell you, without wrestling fans, there is no professional wrestling, and there's no better time to help the cause now. Let's keep Marty rocking each and every Thursday night. Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, we invite you to join former ECW World Heavyweight Champion Justin Credible, also Aldo Montoya, from the WWF New Generation era in the mid-90s for a live episode and cyber autograph session for the Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive this Saturday night, December the 4th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Get ready for Wrestling Insiders Extreme as we help Santa update his GPS to find every kid this Christmas. Order your 8x10 photos now. Visit bostonwrestling.com.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.
Wrestling fans, welcome to another all-new Wrestling Insider's Fabulous Fridays. Dan Marty here along with John Cena Sr. Another big Friday night, Johnny. SmackDown in the can, AEW Rampage in the can. Then the fans come to the place where they can feel like they're home, which is with us. It's been quite a year as we wind down 2021.
It's been a roller coaster. A roller coaster
in more ways
of
than
ups,
one.
downs, and surprises.
Even at Universal Studios.
A lot of ups and downs and surprises.
Lots of ups and downs and surprises. Johnny, I tell you, for the fans that are looking to give a great holiday gift, discount VIP packages and tickets to our Soul Survivor 10 Back to the 80s event, Saturday night, April the 16th at Memorial Hall in Melrose, are on sale now at bostonwrestling.com. We had a special discount for the fans that were there on November 13th. Now they are open to everyone. And on top of that, if they're able to get the order in time, they're going to get an autographed Christmas card, and they can, it's almost double your pleasure, double your fun. You give the gift on Christmas, you watch the fan open it with excitement, then they actually get to go to the event a couple of weeks after WrestleMania. You know, as we've noted, Vince, he's not bringing WrestleMania here. It's not happening. Unless business really tanks bad and they go back to the TD Garden.
Go right down to Patriot Stadium. That'd be a hell of a spot.
It's too cold.
Oh, come on.
Who the hell wants to go to Fox?
We're
looking for destination attractions for WrestleMania. You think Foxborough, Massachusetts is a destination attraction?
Well, I'll tell you this. I've done several weddings down there.
Yeah.
And the way that town he's built, Kraft, with the hotels, the shops, I'll tell you, that's very crowded. A lot of people are down there. A lot of people are coming in. It's just a stop in, go to the shops, go to the restaurants, and get your picture taken in front of the stadium.
It's 45 minutes away from Boston. There's no convention center around there for the Fan Fest.
Well, when they had it in Florida, I get off the plane, went to Tampa, and I had to drive another hour and 15 minutes, 20 minutes to go to Orlando.
Well, what the hell did you fly into Tampa for?
Because that's where a friend of mine lives.
Bovino. Well, you know, as we continue to talk about the big weekend we have ahead, former ECW World Champion Justin Credible is going to be with us live tomorrow night. We're going to be taping Wrestling Insider Extreme episodes when we go back to the world of ECW. On top of that, he's going to be doing a cyber autograph signing to help out with the Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive. That's going to be a lot of fun. I lost my train of thought completely, as I am exhausted from all of these trips back and forth to New York, and it's a little early in the morning for us as we tape. How was people, they keep asking. We got the bundle for the holidays. We're going to be talking about
Yes,
it.
we do.
But they want the vino. They want the Fabo Vino.
The Fabo Vino is a gift. I don't sell it. I make 300 bottles of wine.
300 bottles of wine.
Roughly, I did.
How often?
6. How did I do this year? 5. So that would be 5 times 30 is 150. Plus what I have in the basement, probably 225, 275. Because when I make wine, the white wine, nobody is allowed to touch for at least 7 months.
Really?
The red wine, I won't let anybody touch for at least 14 months.
Really?
The flavored wine I make, like the blueberry Pinot, blackberry Pinot, that you can drink right away. I've got to go back and make some port. A lot of people want me to remake the chocolate raspberry port. Delicious. Got to wait 1 year before you drink that. So I give that away as gifts.
I'm still waiting for a bottle. I want to try the vino.
What kind do you drink, red or white?
Surprise me.
We can do that.
Is there a label on it that says Fabo Vino?
I have just made some white Zinfandel and a Chardonnay that is Fabo's Fabulous Reserve. And my picture is right on that label.
Really? Now, I mean, is this one of those deals where you get there and you stomp the fruit with your feet? Or how do you do it?
Those days are gone. First of all, way back when I was younger, I used to make wine with my grandfather. Nobody ever stopped with their feet. You had a grape crusher, and then all the stems, the grapes all went in. You had a T-bar in the barrel. You put it up and down every day. The yeast would begin to work with the grapes, and you made wine that way. I started out doing that. I've been making this now for about, I'd say 10, 11 years. And in addition to when I was with my grandfather. So I found a place here in Danvers. Gennaro owns it right here. Beer, wine, hobby. And anything you want is there. So I was talking, because you can go there and say, I want Chardonnay juice. You'll get the juice from the Chardonnay grapes. And the good thing about that juice is, and you get grape skins to go with it. The good thing about that juice is it's pasteurized and homogenized. So you know when you start that wine, you're off to a good start.
Where did you get this passion to start making wine all of a sudden?
You know, sometimes you go back to your younger years and you look at what you used to do. And I was sitting there one day and I said, you know, I wonder what it'd be like if I just tried to make wine again. And I started out with a 3-gallon bottle. 3-gallon bottle. And I said, I think what I'm going to do, and I started reading, you can buy the juice or you can buy a kit. The kits are okay. In a bind, they're great. But to take the juice and then start with the bentonite, which is a Hawaiian clay you mix with water, and pour the juice in, that takes out all the impurities and anything that's floating in there. Then add your yeast, let that go for 2 or 3 weeks. I said, wow, this might be kind of fun. So I started with 3 gallons, and now I have some conical fermenters that I really like using because, and you can get those at Beer Wine Hobby, is because with the conical fermenter, you don't have to transfer to a carboy. It's all done in one. When I make my own beer, which I have done.
This Fabo beer?
Yep, I have. I just gave away some pumpkin spice. I have an apple cider beer. I have a porter that's really good. So I just started doing that. But the winemaking is so much fun. It's so enjoyable. And people go, oh, it's fun. I let Moniece work with me once on the wine.
She didn't like it.
She said, I love drinking it, but this is a labor of love. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
And you make 300 bottles a year.
Roughly 150 to 125.
How long does it take to make a bottle of Fabo Vino?
8 to 12 weeks.
Per bottle?
Well, no, I get 28 bottles out of a 6-gallon. So you're looking at 8 to 12 weeks for 28 bottles of wine.
Oh my God! Well, I'll have to seriously sip.
If I have
the
a blueberry
Fabo
Pinot,
Vino.
I'll bring you a blueberry or a blackberry Pinot because you're like the kind of guy that likes a red, but also likes a little bit of sweet.
Yeah.
I also have a Sauvignon Blanc.
A what?
Sauvignon Blanc, which is a white.
Sauvignon Blanc.
No, Sauvignon.
A Sauvignon.
Sauvignon Blanc.
What's that?
That's a white wine.
Okay.
People, you look at it and say it's a Chardonnay, but it isn't. Chardonnay is really dry. The Sauvignon is a little dry, but it's got, at the very end, you get that sweetness at the end of the drink. It's a very nice wine. It goes well with fish, something you just want to sit around and drink, like a Chardonnay. That's a sipping wine. And a lot of people will like to sip on Cabernet Sauvignon. I've got about, I think, 40 bottles I made of that. That's a quite popular wine.
Now, why won't you sell the Fabo Vino?
First of all, I don't want to get involved with the federal government, and I'm not being ridiculous. There's a law on how much alcohol you can make per year. I don't go over that.
Oh, really?
There is. I don't go over that limit. I will not go over the limit. It makes great gifts. So, and then when you start to sell it, somebody asked me about New Hampshire, Maine. I said, no, because now you got to get with the federal New Hampshire State Liquor Commission. Same thing with the Fabo Pop. They wanted to sell
so
it
much soda
in a New Hampshire store. No, I can get pallets, but I said, now I got to go through the Federal Liquor Commission. It's just not worth it. And so I just give it away. It's a lot easier, and it's a lot more fun. I like to see the view on people's faces. I bought a Peloton bike from Onise for her birthday.
She was very happy about that.
She's doing very well.
Very nice social media message.
Thank you. The young kids that came were very, very nice. And I said, you drink wine? and obviously the young lady said,
have a little Fabo Vino,
yes,
baby.
no. They left with
Work it off on the bike.
They left with 2 cases.
2 cases?
Yep.
Jesus, John, you were really
24
impressed with them. What was their name, Margot?
No. It was Sean and Nicole. They're very nice young people. Spent a lot of time with me explaining everything. And,
have you used the Peloton?
No.
Why not? Out of curiosity.
No, thanks.
Those things aren't cheap.
No, it wasn't cheap, but you know what? It was worth it for the person I gave it to, and she was very surprised
and appreciative.
I got her new shoes. She has some new weights. She has some new earbuds.
And did you get her a little Fabo Vino?
She has all the Fabo Vino she
Endless
wants.
Fabo Vino.
But now I'm making a little bit of whiskey.
Well, now you're talking my language.
You like whiskey?
Oh, yes, I do.
I'll bring you some of that. And
The Fabo.
I'm also.
John C., are you hearing this?
I'm also making, which I do every year for Christmas, limoncello, orangecello, and black and cherrycello.
Yeah,
right?
it really is a shame. I know we've talked off and on over the years about making some kind of program about all these different little endeavors that you do. We're going to, at some point in 2022, have to take a field trip up to Fabo Estates and see how it's done with all these different unique beverage endeavors that you have going on.
I just think and I've got to start a YouTube thing, cooking with Papa, and my granddaughter wants to do it. We'll do cooking, show how to make a little, and beer is so easy to make. I thought it was difficult. I've never made beer in my life. I've probably done now 6 batches. You start out with a small kit, which is very simple, but I went to the craft beer, which now you've got to take the hops and all the grains and boil them down and add it. Very interesting process. But it came out okay. So it's good, fun.
Well, we're going to have, on our timeouts, we're going to look at the Fabo holiday kit that's available. It doesn't come with Fabo Vino, but for one low price, on top of helping the Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive, you get your choice of flavor of Fabo Pop, a bottle of the Fabo hot sauce, an autographed John Cena Sr. photo, and an autographed, correct me if I'm wrong, it's a $1 million bill, not a $1 billion one.
I think it's, let's see, what do we got here? Yep, it's $1 million.
$1 million. I mean, where else can you get that for the holidays? Plus, if we have any left, we'll even throw in a Christmas card, because we're just that kind of people.
Wow. Oh, awesome. And like I said before, fans, this is not about me. It's not about me making money. It's not about Boston Wrestling making money. It's a Paul Bearer toy drive. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I will donate $5 off of every sale to Boston Wrestling for the Paul Bearer toy drive.
That's a very large percentage.
Well, if we get 100 orders, there's $500 towards the toy drive. It's my way of saying thank you to Paul Bearer and Bill Moody for being such a good friend. And it's my way of you and I saying thank you to those less fortunate and have a Merry Christmas.
And you know who will likely mail these? Well, no, I don't. Who would mail them? You have it all. I was going to say we'd probably mail it, but I don't have the hot sauce and the soda.
We can arrange that.
I know if it was a helper down here at the studio on Thursday nights, Quincy Rastani would be very happy to mail it.
You know what we can do? Once we get the pre-orders, I'll make sure that you have whatever it is you need.
All right, a couple more things, Johnny, before we cut to the first commercial break. Last night, some fans I'm sure were going to be disappointed, but for the time being, the last original episode of Party with Marty on Wrestling Insiders. We were every week at Thursday nights at 10, going back to July of 2020, but you know, we've had, you talk about a roller coaster with Marty, some ups, some downs. You know, sometimes you gotta, it takes two to tango, so to speak. We'd love to have Marty with us for many, many, many years to come. But just from your observations, and I think it's, I would hope, but I always want your honest opinion, but from what most responses were, it was a pretty positive experience you and others had with them back on November the 13th at our 20th anniversary extravaganza. The good Marty.
It was great to see Marty Jannetty.
Yes.
It was great to see him. What a wonderful time we had. Conversation. He was great with the fans, great with his brothers and sisters in the business. It was just an all-around fun time. And you know...
And I've always believed that version of Marty existed.
It still does. And I think, like all of us, you know, life is a journey, and sometimes we hit a road, we stumble and fall, but there's nothing says, and he's living proof, you can't pick yourself up and get back on the road. And when you say it's the last episode, maybe it's time.
Now.
But maybe it's time for a rest. Maybe it's time for a break. Maybe it's time for everybody to regather their thoughts. Maybe it's time that Marty takes that little break, you take that little break, and let's see who else we can fill that Thursday night slot with, not permanently, temporarily, until we get back on track and Marty's ready to up and fly again.
Some have suggested that we try and do it almost like seasons of a TV show and try and break them up. You know
I like that idea.
Maybe do almost like a school year, do 9 months at a time with different people and then give them 3 months of a little break.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
Yep, and have an episode a week.
Well, no, do it weekly for 9 months and then take a break for 3.
That's a lot of episodes you're trying to throw in there.
Well,
you're
if
trying
we
to
go
throw
weekly.
36 episodes.
Huh?
36 episodes.
Well, the goal is 52, so.
That's what you were doing.
Yeah.
But if you want to do 9, 4, 36.
Yeah, well, 39 roughly.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that might be kind of fun. Or it could
There's
be
a lot of talent that wants to come in to do it. We don't have enough days of the week.
Bi-weekly.
So.
Bi-weekly. Do it every other week.
To me, I kind of like the idea of almost like a TV show. You get to see, you know, September through May or June or whatever, then something different for the summer months. Or something like that. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
We'll see
have
what
to wait
happens.
and see. We do have that active Indiegogo campaign going on right now where you can get great rewards and experience with the man that likes to party. He will be back. I have no doubt about that. It's just a matter of when. We'll have him back here again. And like I said, you know, we've had some positive discussions. We've had some Marty discussions, but, you know, we don't want to go there. But, you know, the true Marty inside of Marty is a good human being that has a lot to contribute to this business. I look forward to that just as much as I look forward to, Johnny, a week from Tuesday and Wednesday, the in-studio debut of a guy that I think the fans are going to feel a lot of love for, a man that is going to be wild, unpredictable, maybe a softer version of the content we used to have with Sheiky Baby. We're talking about the Berzerker John Nord.
I think that when you come to tape interviews here, you become yourself. You become yourself. Some people go a little bit off the deep end.
Yeah.
But I've always seen in all the interviews I've done with Kamala, with Holly Race, with God Rest His Soul, Paul Allendorf, same thing, you get the true person. The character is outside. You don't want to bring that character in. You know, as Triple H used to say, I'm Paul Levesque until I get to the curtain. And once I come to the curtain, I'm Triple H. You know, if you stop believing your own shit, you're in trouble.
Well, that's not my
And
point of
so-
view at all. I'm talking about the real John Nord.
Then that's
These
fine.
fans are going to, I think, absolutely love it.
Gonna dig
My
deep.
opinion.
Well, but dig deep, gonna go behind the scenes and be the man he is. And like everybody else that we've had on or you've had on, we're gonna get the rest of the story. And I think that's why fans appreciate what we do, what you do. Remember, I don't own the company, I'm talent like everybody else. So what you do, these fans appreciate because you are like Vince McMahon or the Wizard of Oz. You kind of pull the curtain back and say, and Paul Harvey, remember Paul Harvey? And now, let's get the rest of the story. And that's what makes it so intriguing. Marty Jannetty, great example. JGG, look at some of the stars you've had that taped and then passed away.
To me, that's always the tough part because there's always so much more content we can fill.
Yep.
Right now, fans, we've gone over on this first segment, plugging away on everything. The Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive continues all month long with that big Cyber Mega Raffle. If you missed the one we had at Memorial Hall that the fans were drooling over, don't worry. We're going to do a special online one. Fabo and I are still trying to figure out when the live Christmas party is going to be. But right now, check out the deal for the John Cena Senior Bundle and how you can keep Marty Jannetty rocking.
Fans, we warned you this day would come. Unfortunately, we're running out of original episodes of Wrestling Insider's Party with Marty each and every Thursday night at 10 p.m., but we're starting up that Indiegogo. You can help the cause. You can help Marty's show continue each and every week. Nobody does it like Marty. We had an incredible time with him at our 20th anniversary bash, November 13th at Memorial Hall here in Melrose. We want to have the good times keep on rolling, but we can't do it without you. Look for the Indiegogo link in the comment section below or across our website and social media platforms. We have some great perks, great rewards where you can even meet Marty himself. There's nothing like it. Since July of 2020, every week we've brought you the show. We need your help to keep on going. We tell you, without wrestling fans, there is no professional wrestling, and there's no better time to help the cause now. Let's keep Marty rocking each and every Thursday night.
It hits different live with WWE Super Show. Don't miss an epic main event.
Drew McIntyre and Kofi Kingston, King Woods, The New Day, Roman Reigns, and the Usos in a six-man tag team match.
Will the new arrivals on the blue brand disrupt the dominance of the Bloodline? It's WWE Super Show in Boston, Sunday, January 9th. Tickets and Superstar Experience packages on sale now.
Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Marati.
And I'm Mr. USA WWE Hall of Famer Tony Atlas.
The road to WrestleMania has begun. Wrestling fans are looking to add to their man caves. You got to see what we have in the eBay store. Check it out.
Support Wrestling Insider's in-studio shoot interviews on eBay with this brand new personally autographed WWE Royal Rumble 2021 11x14 poster signed by WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns, his advocate Paul Heyman, and Kevin Owens. Reigns and Owens battled for the Universal title in a last standing match January 31st in the Thunderdome in Tampa. This limited edition collector's poster is number 31 of only 50 produced. Comes with WWE authentication hologram on the poster itself. Also comes with an on-air shout-out from WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas and a bonus autographed 8x10 photo. Get this rare, awesome collectible for your man cave and help keep wrestling legends working now.
Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, we invite you to join former ECW World Heavyweight Champion Justin Credible, also Aldo Montoya, from the WWF New Generation era in the mid-90s for a live episode and cyber autograph session for the Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive this Saturday night, December the 4th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Get ready for Wrestling Insider's Extreme as we help Santa update his GPS to find every kid this Christmas. Order your 8x10 photos now. Visit BostonWrestling.com. Wrestling fans, welcome back to Wrestling Insider's great gifting ideas across the board. Don't forget the Boston Wrestling eBay store is open 24/7 with great merchandise for the friends and loved ones on your list, even if that loved one is yourself. But Johnny, a lot to talk about in the world of professional wrestling. One we did not get a chance to discuss last time you were here was Dean Ambrose, John Moxley of AEW, going into WWE-sponsored Rehab.
We did discuss that.
We did.
We did discuss that.
I don't remember.
Yeah, well, living proof that young kids shouldn't eat lead paint.
Sorry.
All I know is we did discuss that. You asked me what I thought of it. I thought it was admirable. It takes a lot of guts for somebody to come out and say, I have a problem. I am an alcoholic. I am a drug addict. And it's hell to go through the rehabilitation process that Moxley's going to go through. I have nothing but good words. Go back over the tape. I haven't changed one thing or one thought about what I said before.
Well, do you think it's unique that Vince finds himself in the position where he's paying for it, where he's on Tony Khan's payroll? I think that says a lot about WWE. It's not like he's some retired star that, has no income.
No. I don't know why people are always on Vince McMahon.
I'm complimenting.
No. I'm talking about other people.
Oh.
A lot of times people say to me, you worked for him. I did. A short stint, but I did add a lot of fun. A great human being who thinks a lot of his talent, who works hard, who cares. All this other rubbish and it's rubbish. It's unfounded. And I think that regardless of who's paying the bill, Vince still cares. And Moxley did a lot for WWE. And I think this is the way that you say, I remember what you did, regardless of where you are. I didn't see Tony Khan reach in his pocket to say, I'm going to pay for the rehab. And I'm not nothing against Tony Khan. It may have been a case that Vince came forward first because of his wife. So that may be another reason that Vince is doing it. But don't let anybody kid you. Vince is business. Business is business. But when it comes to taking care of those that work for Vince McMahon, you can say what you want. He's a bum. He's this. He threw me out. You know what? If you were running a business and you were putting asses in seats, would you keep me there? If you were a guy that was mez, would you keep me there? It's about business. It's what's good for business. So I'm proud of Vince, very proud of Moxley, and people, instead of complaining, should be saying thank you.
Well, if I was Tony Khan, would I be creating my own platform for talents?
I'm sure that, remember, Khan's new to what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's the kind of kid that's just got into the pool. He started ankle deep. Now he's probably waist deep. So he's learning about this business. I'm sure those people like Jericho, Rhodes, Tony Omega, they're putting the bugs in the ear. I would venture to say that 2022 not only will reveal big things with AEW, but they will start these platforms of rehab. They will reach out to help those that are in trouble. So I just think it's time to sit back, wait, and see what happens.
Well, we certainly send our best to John Moxley.
Absolutely.
Hopefully he has a great recovery and a happier life. He's making a big move with his wife and his soon-to-be child coming into the world. So it's a good time for him to try and get focused and straighten things out in his universe. Speaking of universe, the WWE universe, Johnny, did you get a chance to see any of a very bland Survivor Series?
I did not.
And you didn't miss much?
I did not.
Did you think there was any chance that Big E was going to defeat Roman Reigns?
I did not.
Did you hear about the number of count-out finishes that they had to avoid people taking pinfalls in the Survivor Series matches?
I did not.
Johnny, let me tell you, it was I hate to say it, a complete and utter waste of time. Outside of my takeaways from it were, they must have played at least 4 to maybe to as many as a half dozen Rock flashbacks for the 25th anniversary of The Rock's debut at Survivor Series 96, which for historical purposes was the first time I was ever at Madison Square Garden with our good friend, the late wrestling historian, the Jackal. That was an interesting experience, but I think they overkilled it to the point where the fans were pretty disappointed that he wasn't there. You'd think if they were going to put that much time into hype videos for the guy, you'd actually see him.
My thought on that is Vince has planted the seed, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's Roman Reigns versus The Rock for WrestleMania.
I don't think that's going to be happening. He's going to be a busy man with Hollywood at that point.
You know what? Say what you want about Dwayne Johnson. If Dwayne Johnson wants to make room in his calendar for WrestleMania, there will be Dwayne Johnson at WrestleMania. Let's see what happens.
I don't think we're going to see Dwayne Johnson at WrestleMania. I don't think they're planning on Dwayne Johnson at WrestleMania.
No, that's not the plan right now. It's Brock Lesnar, I guess, and Roman Reigns. I'm not even happy about that. That's like having mashed potatoes and gravy every night. Been there, done that. Doesn't even interest me.
It's happened a couple of times in the past.
Doesn't even interest me. I'm going to tell you something. People will come because it's WrestleMania. It's the biggest show, but I'm telling you something. Put that match on, and it's a given. Lesnar will probably have the belt. Reigns will take the belt at WrestleMania.
You think Lesnar is going to get the belt before WrestleMania?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
I just think there's going to be because I think at some point.
Why would you end Roman's streak before Mania?
Streak? People are getting tired of Roman Reigns. I'm telling you.
What else do you got?
Well, no, and I'm not downing Reigns. Please, don't get me wrong. I was the guy that sat here, and I don't make any bones about it. I didn't like Roman Reigns, and it just wasn't him. If they only did what they did with Reigns then, with what they're doing now, this kid would have been over. I mean, really over. So he's really on top of his game, and he's proving it. Now, he wants to get into movies. He wants to be part of the situation. So where are we going with this? How much longer is he going to be wrestling? How much longer will he be with WWE? Maybe The Rock will take him in and put him in some of his $5 productions.
7, I believe.
Well, he gave
low,
me
right?
2, so
You needed a
$7
Fabo
productions. So I just say this. Maybe he won't have the belt. But to see that belt go down at WrestleMania to Brock Lesnar, old hat. Whether Lesnar has it or Reigns has it, I don't know about you, and some of the fans I speak to, boring. Not that these two guys can't mix it up. Not that these two guys won't give you a hell of a match, because I was in the front row the first time Reigns faced him, and when he decked Lesnar and Lesnar saw the blood, quote unquote, that's the way it's going to be, and that turned into a shoot. I'm telling you, he was pounding the living shit out of him. And they were right there. The Inoue family was right there, and I have to concur, Reigns didn't do much. And I think the one thing, and I don't know if it was part of the gimmick or not, but the one thing that annoyed Lesnar was every time he'd smack him, he kept smiling, laughing in his face. If that's what we're going to have, might as well make it a real match. But I don't think you'll see that. I think both men have grown up. I think both men have come a long, long way in their careers. And I'm not saying it won't be a good match. Been there, done that. John Cena Sr., I have no interest.
Well, what do you think about the semi-return over the past couple of weeks of Vince McMahon? It started with this mystery over the golden egg at Survivor Series, which was another reason why people thought The Rock was going to show up. And then it kind of morphed into this angle where Vince and a newcomer, making his second return as a newcomer to the roster, Ross, in theory, is kind of getting some rub off of Vince. I would imagine for WWE to put him in that position. They obviously see the great potential in Austin Theory that I do. But once again, it gets to the point where, on the most recent edition of Raw, who comes off looking like the child and the imbecile in the situation but Theory? At the end of the show, Vince slaps him across the face, and I would have rather have seen him come storming back at Vince, kind of in his face, saying, I respect you, everything you've done, but don't you ever put your hands on me, old man. At some point, Vince can't, at his age, can't be this threatening, physically violent force to athletes that are 50 years younger than him. I think that's unbelievable to me.
Well, let me tell you something. I know Vince personally. Not that I'm bragging, and I mean that as a business standpoint. If that man takes his shirt off, he's got more muscle than you and I put together.
Sure.
Very healthy, very strong. Take nothing away from Vince McMahon. I sure wouldn't want to meet him at a dark alley either. Vince has got it.
Is that building the future of your company, though? Having superstars that could be around for another 15 or 20 years, having them sell for a 75-year-old?
You know what? If it's good for business and it works, that's all that it counts. I've seen storylines on WWE that lasted 2 weeks that made their point. Most of them don't make any sense. But this Golden Age thing from the Netflix thing that he did, which was the worst. Have you watched that?
No.
Don't waste your time. Don't waste. I think Dwayne Johnson, Gargano, they all wasted their time on that movie. A sad thing to say, with so much talent, you'd think it'd be a blockbuster. Why did it go from the movies to Netflix right away? Because it flopped, and it's no good.
Well, no, I mean, there is a rhyme and a reason behind that. For a movie to be nominated for an Academy Award, it has to be in the movie theater for at least 2 weeks. So
if that gets an Academy
well,
Award
no, I'm just
nomination,
saying,
I get a chance of going back to WWE.
That's the
or
reason.
AEW.
That's the reason behind it. Why Netflix movies like that movie, The Irishman, that was in the movie theaters for a couple of weeks.
Nice, that was good. I like that
That
series.
was good. But that's why it was only there for 2 weeks, so it could potentially be nominated for some kind of an award.
And this is supposed to end up being a series.
That one that's up with the new
Reds
Rock
or
one
whatever
with
it
the
is.
egg?
Yeah, with the, oh, please.
I have no interest. But
It's a goose egg. It's a sour goose egg.
if you could use Vince to prop someone and get them over, I mean, should Vince be cowering to everybody? No. But if he could take one, maybe even two guys and groom them and help get them over, why not do that instead of trying to push yourself?
I don't think it's so much
He's
push.
he's done. He's in his mid-70s.
Don't-
He doesn't. You know, no. I hate to say it because I think the world of Vince McMahon, what he has done for that company, what he continues to do day in, day out with his work ethic, but as a character, it is old. It is yesterday's news. It hit its peak in the late 90s. It is 2021, almost 2022. It is done. It is time to pass the torch to someone else outside of the McMahon family. If they think Austin Theory could be a heel they could groom, make him a badass, unlikable heel. Don't have him sit there like a high school kid that got slapped by the high school principal, which is how that came off.
Well, but maybe what they're trying to do is build this heel into that heel by taking the abuse. You know, there's a lot of ways that people get mean. Abuse is one way. Embarrassment is another way. You know, you ever have that stuff, and you've said it many times, you throw the cane and go, I've had enough. I'm done with this shit. Whoa, what do you mean? I'm not taking any more from those two guys or those five guys. I'm done. It's over. Well, that may be what they're building to. I don't think that Vince McMahon has any intention of being there for 6 months, 3 months, 2 months. It's an interim. Ratings are down. How are you going to build them up? One way is to bring back the old man. And I don't mean that bad. I mean that good. Bring back the old man. You put that little zip into it. This golden egg thing, I don't know who the hell thought that up. I don't know where that came from. The movie is a flop. Keep using the golden egg. It's going to be a flop. It just is not going to work. Originality is important. And I think what they're going to do is this kid's going to take the abuse. He's going to take the bullshit. And eventually what's going to happen is he's going to snap. And we're going to have one hell of a heel. And he's going to turn on Vince just like Stone Cold Steve Austin did.
I tell you this, by 2021 standard, he has pretty good size. He's a pretty good promo. He's got a really good look.
Yep.
He's someone I would protect and groom. He just came from NXT, where he was presented as an idiot with that Johnny Gargano faction, and now he's being presented as an idiot with Vince. And I don't get it. I think it's a waste. I think you need to start to invest in the future. You look at Raw right now, almost all of their top guys are in their 40s or pushing 40. Where is the next generation coming from?
They have nobody.
If you're just going to either A, release them, or B, use them as idiots.
Well, Gargano, from what I hear, has not renewed his contract.
Well, he renewed it for a week, so
That's
he's
it.
got a few more days left.
He's not going to stay.
Apparently, from what I was told, they want to keep him. But I mean, honestly, if he goes, does anybody really care?
Nope.
Are they going to stop watching
Nope.
that this little 5'7" guy is no longer there?
I did me, Ciampa, and his wife out west for people with cancer, kids with cancer. We did a show out there. Nice, talented couple. I mean, talented. But I think he's AEW material. I really do.
Right, yeah. The
do.
NXT where he fit is no longer there.
Nope, it's gone.
The NXT that exists now, and maybe that's a different story for a different segment,
I think
is
so.
terrible.
I think we got to save that.
Yes, all right. All right, wrestling fans, one thing we're not going to save is the spirit of Christmas. The Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive is ongoing. We've got that Indiegogo campaign with Marty Jannetty. We've got live episodes coming up with Just Incredible tomorrow night. We have our NXT TakeOver Watch Along Sunday night. The Berzerker is coming on December the 14th for a little huss, and so much more. We got the John Cena Senior Holiday Bundle available as part of the Toy Drive now. You get the pop. You get the autograph photo. You get the Fabo $1 million bill signed, and you get the hot sauce. Check it out.
Wrestling fans, we warned you this day would come. Unfortunately, we're running out of original episodes of Wrestling Insider's Party with Marty each and every Thursday night at 10 p.m., but we're starting up that Indiegogo. You can help the cause. You can help Marty's show continue each and every week. Nobody does it like Marty. We had an incredible time with him at our 20th anniversary bash, November 13th at Memorial Hall here in Melrose. We want to have the good times keep on rolling, but we can't do it without you. Look for the Indiegogo link in the comment section below or across our website and social media platforms. We have some great perks, great rewards where you can even meet Marty himself. There's nothing like it. Since July of 2020, every week we've brought you the show. We need your help to keep on going. We tell you, without wrestling fans, there is no professional wrestling, and there's no better time to help the cause now. Let's keep Marty rocking each and every Thursday night.
Wrestling fans, I'm Dan Marati.
And this is the man of the hour, Leo Rush.
It was all over BostonWrestling.com and our social media. But Leo, brother, they got to check out some of this merch.
They got to.
Check it out, fans, right now, available on eBay.
At Night of Champions 2020, Tribal Chief Roman Reigns successfully defended the WWE Universal Championship against his cousin, Jey Uso, in a must-see battle. Here is your chance to own a piece of Roman Reigns moments before battle on this beautiful limited edition autographed 11x14 poster direct from friends at WWE. It's number 19 of only 50 made. Includes WWE authentication hologram on the poster itself. Suitable for framing and matting. You'll also receive a bonus Legends autographed 8x10 photo in an on-air shout-out on Wrestling Insiders as our thanks for helping keep Wrestling Legends working. Get this ultra-rare Roman Reigns autograph poster now. Wrestling fans, especially here in the Boston area, we want to thank our great friends at Red Rose for their support for all of our charitable endeavors and programming efforts. Red Rose is 2 years young and extremely thankful for all the support they've had from our neighbors here in Melrose and beyond for an amazing first 2 years. Red Rose thanks Melrose and all of the first responders who have fought the good fight and have never given up hope during these unprecedented times. We did it together. Follow Red Rose on Facebook for their anniversary special, facebook.com/Red Rose Melrose. You'll be glad you did. Open until 2 a.m. Red Rose will give you fresh, piping hot, mouth-watering food that'll put an ear-to-ear smile on even the toughest critic's face. Check out their full menu online at redrosema.com or give them a call, 781-620-1889.
Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, we invite you to join former ECW World Heavyweight Champion Just Incredible, also Aldo Montoya from the WWF New Generation era in the mid-90s for a live episode and cyber autograph session for the Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive this Saturday night, December the 4th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Get ready for Wrestling Insiders Extreme as we help Santa update his GPS to find every kid this Christmas. Order your 8x10 photos now. Visit BostonWrestling.com. Wrestling fans, welcome back to Wrestling Insiders. Hopefully your holiday season is off to a great start. It was nice to see New York City twice in 5 days. I got a little fill of it, no pun intended, but it's a beautiful place.
As Moniz would say.
Do you know Moniz take in New York City?
She wants to bring me back to New York City. She wants to go to Broadway. She's very familiar with that area, Brooklyn, New York. That's where she's in New Jersey.
She's from Brooklyn or New Jersey?
I believe Brooklyn.
Oh, Brooklyn. Oh,
yep.
It really is a badass.
Then she went down to Jersey, and her parents are in the New York area. Her daughter is in New Jersey. Her son is in Exeter, New Hampshire. So always talk about, let's go, come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. Her father is ill. A lot of prayers out there if you could do it for her dad.
Yes, please.
He's in Brooklyn. We could use a lot of prayers there. That'd be very much appreciated. But I was in New York when I did the weight loss program with John Cena Jr. That had been the first time in my life that I was actually in downtown New York, expensive hotel.
Really?
A walk to Broadway. I had done autograph signings in New York.
Yeah.
I had done wrestling shows in New York. Never had time to really enjoy it.
Take it in.
I tell you, that song, New York, New York, wow. I tell you, once you get there, awesome. Awesome.
It's a great place to visit. Much like Boston, I don't think I could ever live there, though. It's a little too much hustle in
When
Boston.
thank God they drove me, because I'd go Berzerker, here I am. I'd be going, huts, throwing hand grenades, I guess. There's no room to park. People are just crazy. They jump out in front of you. It's just, I thought Massachusetts was bad.
No, you can't. And
No.
you know what's even worse than New York City is Los Angeles.
And Washington. When I was
Yeah,
in
Washington isn't easy either.
Nuts. They're nuts there.
But I say the worst two are L.A. number 1,
Oh, yeah.
New York number 2, and Boston number 3. Just one man's opinion as far as
I would agree with that.
traffic goes.
I lived in California.
I remember driving through New York City with Tony Atlas, which was beyond the verbiage and the conversation. Just watching him trying to navigate the New York City traffic was a trip in and of itself. But that's a different story for a different time. Back when we had some lighter moments with our old friend Tony Atlas.
He's a good man.
Well, depends on the day of the week.
He's a good man.
Yeah. I'll ask his daughter.
And we end that with that. Thank you.
Let me ask you this, Johnny. I thought a great statement that came from social media was as a result of Seth Rollins being attacked by a fan on Monday Night Raw. I don't know if you had a chance to see that the night after Survivor Series. A man that thought he was having actual exchanges with Seth on social media, and it was a catfish. But, you know, I thought Chavo Guerrero Jr., of all people, had a great phrase after seeing the video of it. Remember when the wrestlers were tougher than the fans?
You know, I watched it. I watched it. Curiosity got the best of me. And the thing that I don't understand is that in the old days, when the man or the woman came off the ramp, there was a police escort down and a police escort back to the ramp. Why? Why not? Second, I think Rollins apparently restrained himself because I assume, like most of us, is trained in the martial arts. So,
you think Seth Rollins is trained in the martial arts?
Well, I got to tell you something. You've got to be trained in some form of self-defense.
Are you trained in the martial arts?
Maybe.
Really?
Maybe. I haven't given a yes or a no. But I will say I went up the ranks, so I'm not going to say I'm a black belt.
Wow.
But I went up the ranks. I think I stopped at brown.
Did you?
So I would think that restraint, remember, he was attacked to retaliate, and if he is trained, I don't remember if you followed the episode at UPW when John was there. They had a wrestler who was psycho. He was trained in the martial arts. He was harassed on the Los Angeles Thruway, get out of his car, self-defense, ended in jail because hands have to be registered. It's a weapon.
Are your hands registered?
I'm no weapon. Believe me, I'm no weapon. The only threat I am is to myself. So I would think that maybe Rollins used his head. At the same time, why did it take so long for security? Why didn't Rollins retaliate faster? I'm with Guerrero. Because in the old days, if somebody jumped Chavo, Sammartino, the Russian, they'd be mincemeat. And for this fan to believe he was dealing with Rollins to give money, you know what that says about the fan? Shake your head, because all the rocks are going from side to side, damaging the interior of your brain. Please. And the last place you want to do that is in a crowded stadium. You're nuts. You're nuts.
Well, I think Seth Rollins looked pretty weak in the whole exchange.
I would agree. When you look at that, you say, and this guy's a wrestler?
When you have a situation where the fan jumps the barricade, the fan is fair game. He's breaking the law and he's attacking you.
I thought it was work.
No.
No, but I thought it was when I first saw it because they played that game so often. You know, look what they did with Trish Stratus and, I've lost it now, the country singer, the woman.
Mickey James?
Yeah. Maybe she was a fan of that. Yeah.
I see what you mean.
Right. So I'm sitting back and I looked at it. I said, it's a work. There's going to be a match. This guy's a pro wrestler. Then the way I looked at it, I'm going, hold it, stop.
No, they cut too quick.
Yeah.
The camera shot.
And the security should have been like ducks on a June bug. As soon as that man's leg went over the barrier, they should have grabbed that sucker and his ass should have been out the door.
Well,
and Rollins, I don't know why he delayed, why it was...
Well, to be fair, he was probably, shocked at first because he wasn't expecting it. But at some point, again, it's like Chavo said, okay, the wrestlers should be tougher than the fans. Once Seth realizes after a second or two this man is jumping him, he should have beat the shit out of him.
But you got to remember...
made an example out of it.
Well, you got to remember something. There's something called self-defense. And if you are trained and you use that, then you're in trouble.
Once you hop the barricade, you're fair game.
I understand that, but remember something. Maybe a punch to the face would have been okay. But if you did anything beyond that, you'd be in trouble. The good thing that Rollins had going for him was it's on camera.
Yeah.
So there alone is your defense.
Right.
So now it becomes a situation of I only did what I needed to do to protect myself. So let's see. I have to agree with Chavo, although he did recant what he said.
Oh, did he? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he softened the blow. He didn't mean it in a derogatory manner. He meant it as, I suppose I would have said the same thing. When you look at a Greg Valentine, you look at Tito Santana, you look at Sammartino, the Russian. Do you think for 1 minute, if somebody took a swing at them, they wouldn't be on their ass? That's right. So I think there's a lot to be learned from this one.
You talk about maybe the Rock's jiggling around a little bit, Johnny. What about Nature Boy Ric Flair again? Not happy. He's on his podcast. He takes this line that so many have taken in the past, whether it's Jim Ross or Johnny Ace, now it's Nick Khan. It's not Vince, but it's Nick Khan that's out to destroy Ric Flair's legacy in WWE by having him removed from the opening montage of the show. When he dies, he doesn't want WWE to have any kind of tribute to him or show any kind of video package. But he loves Vince. Him and Vince are tight, but it's Nick Khan that's telling Vince what to do. It's amazing that all of these people that work under Vince over the years have had the power to tell him how to run his company. And I think it's absurd. I think it's ridiculous. I think it lacks common sense. I don't know if he's just trying to stay on the Vince McMahon ass-kissing brigade so he doesn't say anything too negative about the man. But for anyone to think that Nick Khan is going to go into Vince and say, hey, Vince, I don't care what you think about Ric Flair. He's coming out of the opening. How can anyone with any common sense believe that's true? With all these releases, Vince, I don't care what you think about John Morrison. He's fired. He's out. We don't need him anymore. I don't care if you want him or not. Do you think Vince McMahon has ever put himself in that position to be ordered around and told what to do by the people that work for him?
I will say this. Vince would never be told what to do.
Yeah.
I'm being up front. I've been there. I've seen it when we did the match. He was, boy, I'll tell you, tough. But you know what? I take a little bit of what Flair says, and Nick Khan is either out to destroy the company or get rid of all the good talent. Ric Flair needs to look in the mirror. I have nothing but good words for my buddy Rick. We've done a lot together on the indie side. I'm not like these big guys, so I'm just a little guy.
Did he ever bring you along for a visit to Space Mountain?
Absolutely not.
No.
Would
you have gone?
No, would I go? So my whole thing is this. Maybe the reason you're taken out of the opening is the repercussion from the plane ride from hell. You have to understand that for every action, there's a reaction. And so soften the blow. And, you know, Vince knew you were getting canned. Vince knew.
He didn't get canned.
No, he asked for
quit.
his release, right, because he was taken out of the opening, correct?
No.
He just didn't like what was going on.
He, you know him. He's always trying to hustle something. And you know what? If he can get the money from these other endeavors in life, good for him. But you know what? When you're making more than the majority of the active roster in the ambassador role that you have, then you still say, I want out. And WWE, where they were in cost-cutting mode, kind of gladly did it. You know, I think it was a matter of respect more than it was the need to have him under contract. And then he's mad that they took him out of the opening?
But why take him out of the opening?
Well, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe he was replaced by Ultimate Warrior.
There's another story for another time.
Well, I mean,
So
if he's not
one guy
around, if he's not active, who cares?
I understand that.
And potentially, where he removed himself from the WWE brand, there's someone that could show up on AEW any week. Do you want that in your
Ric
TV
Flair?
show?
Ric Flair? You know what? All I'm going to say is this.
Whoa.
Rick is in business for Rick.
Yes.
WWE is in business for WWE. If Flair, who's a very smart man, felt he wasn't being used to the best of his ability, I probably would have asked for my release too. The one thing you got to remember, and I always say this to my sons, be careful what you wish for, you just might get it. So if you asked for it, and part of that was, we're taking you out. We're going to replace you. The thing I say is, why were you taken out? Part of that reason, unfortunately, has to be that documentary was very destructive to a lot of talent. It even made Jim Ross look bad. So, and if Linda and Vince were on that flight, it makes the whole company look bad. So my whole thing was, of course you're going to be taken out. That's the perfect excuse to take you out. Unfortunately, don't misread it. Thank God somebody said to you, you want out? We're going to give you out. Now, if he was making more money than the active talent, good for him. He negotiated a good contract. That's what business is all about. Because in this business, the only thing I have to sell is John Cena Sr. I've got to get as much money as I can for the product to stay healthy and alive. And I'm just using that. Believe me, I'm a little guy. I know where I fit in this business. Indies is fine. I have a lot of fun doing it. But I'm using myself as an example. And that's what Flair did. So that's why he got paid what he got paid.
I think he made himself sound like an ass when he started blaming Tony Khan. I think they all sound like an ass, whether they start blaming Johnny Ace or Jim Ross or
but you know what?
Whoever it may be. No one is going to Vince McMahon telling him what to do.
I can tell you right now, that's no better words have been spoken because that is true. Vince has the final say. Maybe I'm wrong. If I am, let me know, Vince. But I'll tell you what, he has the final say. He runs that company. I always say, and I joke, Vince, when he passes on, take his cell phone away because he'll try to answer and call back, you know? But he will. He's just that dedicated. So, Ric Flair, you made a decision. You said you're fine monetarily. You don't need it. You haven't been contacted by AEW, which I don't believe. Would they want Ric Flair on his show? My question is this now, as a fan and as a friend of Rick, how much more would you increase the audience if you were there? What do you bring?
Do you think they'd want Charlotte and her incredibly shrinking face?
You know, Charlotte is very talented.
It's missing.
Right.
A little too much.
Yep.
A little too much.
Yep.
And that's a shame because I thought she was a lovely lady before.
But you know what? When you get to the big time, you get to that high ladder, sometimes you forget
I can understand where she had the leakage, the breast reduction. I don't understand the need for the face reduction. I don't know. It's her own personal choice, I guess. But there are times now they have certain shots of her, and it doesn't even look like her.
You know, God gave us a gift. That was who I am. Ugly or fat, disabled or whatever. I'm a gift from God. Live with it. Live with it. If you're overweight and there's something you can do about it, do something about it. Here's what I say to everybody out there. Be proud of what you are and who you are. Short, fat, disabled, or whatever. Be proud of you. Love you, and others will love you. That's the name of this game. Thank God he made us all different. Thank God we're able to look different and be different. Just take what we have and live with it. I understand that these people are in a business. They've got to look thin. They've got to look young. They've got to look sharp. But you know what?
They got to look human.
But thank you. Eventually, all of this catches up with you. I just worked with somebody who had some work done. Well, even, I don't know if Vince has had any work done. But his face seems a little bit different to me.
Well, aging. But
okay, but God bless him, because he is who he is. But leave well enough alone, folks. You got to get in shape, do that through the gym. You got to build your muscle, do that through the gym. Be who you are. Be accepted for who you are. Don't try to bend the rules to make people like you. That's why, I see all these overweight people making fun of them. Why? Why? They may have a situation where they can't control it. Who are you to condemn? Look in the mirror first. Be happy with who you are and what you are. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to stop right there.
all right, wrestling fans, we're going to stop right there, too. We're running out of time. Don't forget, this weekend, we're going to be LIVE galore. Former ECW World Champion Justin Credible, a.k.a. Aldo Montoya, of the WWF New Generation, will be with us live tomorrow night for a Cyber Autograph signing, live Wrestling Insider Extreme episode. Then Sunday night, we're going to go to war, baby, for NXT War Games on WWE Network. We're going to have a watch-along. I know Johnny, I'm sure, will be watching from Fabo Estates.
I doubt it.
Being the big NXT 2.0
I doubt
lover he is. And then we're back again. One of the gentlemen that unfortunately his dad passed away and couldn't be with us on November 13th, the wild and unpredictable Berzerker. I have a feeling we have a diamond in the rough with the Berzerker. I tell you this, Johnny, I am not the world's most biggest advocate of phone talk because I just don't have the time for it. The conversations I have with that man make me think the fans are in for a real treat. We're going to have to wait and see. Again, the John Cena Senior Holiday Bundle is available now. The Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive raffle tickets are going on sale. The Boston Wrestling eBay store is on fire. We've got the Marty Jannetty Indiegogo campaign so you can get that crazy guy back in studio sooner than later. So much good stuff happening for my partner in crime on Friday nights each and every week. Mr. Fabovino himself, John Cena Sr., my paisan. I'm Dan Marati. Be well, be healthy, Merry Christmas, good night from Boston.
Thank you for joining us. Please give the video a big thumbs up, leave us a comment, and subscribe to the channel to enjoy more great content. Don't forget, you can help keep wrestling legends working. Check out our eBay store and join the Boston Wrestling family at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling so we can produce more in-depth shoot interviews.